Welcome back. If you're looking to gain a deeper understanding of attraction, not the kind of attraction that's temporary, but the kind that makes someone miss you in silence, respect you at a distance, and think of you even when you're not around, then today's video is for you. You don't need perfect looks or fancy words or relentless pursuit. All you need is one thing: a deep understanding of yourself and of how women unconsciously respond to the energy you don't flaunt, but are always there. Today, you'll discover the subtle yet powerful signs that she's attracted to you, even when she tries to hide it. And you'll learn how to use Stoic philosophy to stay grounded and attractive, not because you do something big, but because you become irreplaceable. Number 1. When you think she's out of your league, she feels it too. Have you ever looked into her eyes and thought, she's too good for me? Have you ever stood across the room from a woman who seemed radiant, intelligent, magnetic, and without realizing it, whispered to yourself, I'm not enough for someone like her? Welcome back. That voice inside you, the one that tells you she's out of your league, is not a sign of humility. It's a quiet poison. It's the death of your own power, and ironically, it's the exact reason why she may never truly see you the way you want her to. In the realm of silent signals and subconscious attraction, there's one truth that remains firm. When you devalue yourself, others feel it, especially women. You don't need to say it out loud. She can see it in the way your eyes shift, in how your voice slightly trembles when you speak about your dreams, or in how quickly you apologize for being yourself. Every gesture becomes a confession. I don't think I'm worthy. And in a world that's already uncertain, women are biologically and emotionally drawn to certainty, to presence, to a man who, despite the chaos of the world, can say with his gaze, I know who I am. I don't need you to complete me. But when you let self-doubt shape your identity, you become a ghost. You're there, but you don't take up space. You're speaking, but you're not being heard. And in the end, she doesn't pull away because she doesn't like you. She pulls away because you don't seem to like yourself. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology gave it a name. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and philosopher, once wrote, Live as though you are already the person you wish to become, not because you're faking anything, but because your potential waits for your permission. And every time you say, I'm not enough, you lock that potential in a cage. Imagine telling a woman, you're out of my league. On the surface, it might seem flattering, but deeper down, you're inviting her to see herself as a goddess, and you as a follower. You remove all mystery, all challenge, and all equality. You become someone to be pitied or mothered, not loved. Instead of saying, you're too good for me, say nothing. Let your actions, your calmness, your grounded presence speak. Let her wonder what makes you so composed. Because the man who sees his worth doesn't have to explain it. And what happens when you truly embrace your worth? You stop shrinking, you stop chasing, you stop molding yourself into what you think she wants. You become what you know. You are an equal, not an echo. Even if she's stunning, even if she's wildly successful, even if she makes more money, knows more people, shines a little brighter in the spotlight, your inner worth doesn't shake. Because self-respect is not loud. It doesn't need validation. It's the stillness in your chest that says, I have nothing to prove, but I will not disappear for you. So here's a challenge. Today, write down 3 things you genuinely admire about yourself, not things you hope to become, things you already are. And for the next month, act like a man who protects those qualities at all costs, whether she sees it or not, whether anyone praises you or not, because that is confidence, that is your league, and it's not her job to put you there, it's yours. Number 2, why self-doubt slowly kills attraction. there's a dangerous habit that too many men carry quietly. It's not always spoken out loud, but it lives in the spaces between conversations. It slips out in phrases like, "Someone like you would never want a guy like me. I'm just lucky to have your attention. You deserve so much better." At first glance, it sounds humble, even sweet. But under the surface, something else is happening. You're telling her again and again that you don't believe you're worthy of love. And here's the truth. No one wants to carry the emotional weight of convincing you to love yourself. When you constantly downplay your worth, she might comfort you the first time, maybe even the second. But over time, it becomes exhausting. What started as humility now feels like a burden. And in relationships, burdens aren't attractive, they're heavy. Self-deprecation is often mistaken for humility. But in the eyes of a woman, it's rarely interpreted that way. What she sees is this: a man who doesn't believe in himself can't protect, lead, or inspire. He needs approval, not connection. That's not a partner, that's a project. Let's bring in a dose of Stoic wisdom. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you say, 'She's out of my league,' you give your power away. You decide that your value depends on her perception. And the moment your self-worth becomes reactive to someone else's glow, you dim your own light." Imagine this scenario. She accomplishes something incredible, a promotion, an award, admiration from others. Instead of celebrating with her, you shrink. You say, "You're amazing. I could never reach that level." You think you're praising her, but what she hears is, "You intimidate me. Your success makes me feel small." That's not love, that's fear. What she truly wants is a man who can stand beside her, not beneath her. A man who claps when she wins, not because he feels unworthy, but because he's proud of her without losing pride in himself. This is the Stoic frame. You don't need to be better than her. You don't need to be perfect. You simply need to know yourself, your values, your effort, your direction. And when you do, you'll speak differently, you'll walk differently, not louder, but more grounded. Because when you stop trying to earn your place in someone's life, you start choosing the relationships that match your value. Confidence isn't about boasting. It's not loud. It's in the way you hold eye contact without flinching. It's in the way you listen deeply, not to impress, but to connect. It's in the way you say thank you when someone compliments you without downplaying it or deflecting. If you keep telling her she's out of your league, one day she might believe you, not because it's true, but because you said it often enough for her to see you through that lens. So stop giving her a reason to see you as anything less than whole. Stand tall. Let her success fuel you, not frighten you. Let your quiet confidence say what your words don't need to, because the most attractive man in the room isn't the richest, or the tallest, or the most charming. He's the one who walks into a room full of people more accomplished than him and doesn't feel the need to disappear. Number 3, how to build real confidence and why it's different than you think. Confidence isn't an act. It's not something you wear like a suit or force like a grin. It's a quiet certainty in who you are, what you value, what you'll stand for, and what you'll never chase. Most men chase confidence like a finish line. If I make more money, if I get fit, if she chooses me, then I'll feel enough. But that's not confidence, that's permission seeking. Real confidence starts before anything external shows up. It begins in your ability to say, "This is who I am." And even if the world doesn't clap for it, I still show up with pride. In Stoicism, Seneca wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Confidence is forged in the fire of self-awareness, not applause. You stop looking for signs that you're enough. You become the sign. So how do you build that? First, stop comparing. You don't need to be better than her. You don't need to be better than your friends. You only need to be better than who you were last week. That's it. Comparison poisons progress. It shifts your focus from your journey to their highlight reel. When you compare, you borrow someone else's blueprint and abandon your own architecture. Don't do that. Build your life like you were meant to live it, not like you're trying to keep up. Second, identify what's unshakable in you. What are your principles? What would you stand for, even if it cost you her approval? Maybe it's honesty. Maybe it's your time in solitude. Maybe it's your health, your spiritual practice, your ambition. Whatever it is, protect it. Because women and the world respect a man who respects himself first. Third, see her as a companion, not a mirror. She's not there to validate you. She's not a scoreboard. She's a fellow traveler on the road of life. You bring your value, she brings hers. A man who says, "I'm lucky to be with her," can be admirable. But a man who believes he's not worthy of her will start to act like it. And when you act unworthy, people believe you. Here's a practice. Write down 3 traits about yourself that you're deeply proud of. Don't think in terms of achievements. Think in terms of character. Maybe you're patient. Maybe you never give up. Maybe you show up for people when it's hard. Now, for the next 30 days, live into those traits. Don't just write them. Embody them. Every time you feel doubt creeping in, every time you want to say, "She's out of my league," or "I'm not enough," return to your list. And remember, self-worth isn't about proving anything. It's about remembering who you are and choosing to stay there. The most magnetic men aren't chasing love. They're becoming so aligned with who they are that love feels lucky to find them. So become that, not for her, but for you. Number 4, the true benefits of confidence and why she feels it before you speak. Confidence doesn't walk into the room shouting. It walks in quietly and changes the entire atmosphere. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not how you dress, it's how you carry your energy. And most importantly, it's not about trying to impress her, it's about not needing to. When a man radiates real confidence, something shifts. People feel safer around him. Women feel more drawn to him. He doesn't compete, he doesn't explain, he doesn't convince. He simply is. And in romantic relationships, that kind of energy is rare and magnetic, because most men try to attract with attachment. They overgive, overtalk, overexplain. Why? Because deep down, they're still waiting for a sign that says, "You're good enough now." But a confident man moves from a different place. He doesn't seek permission to lead. He doesn't lower his value to be liked. He knows that attraction isn't about being perfect, it's about being anchored. And the moment you stop asking women to make you feel valid is the moment they start feeling something deeper for you. Let's get specific. When you're confident, you set the tone in the relationship, not through control, but through emotional gravity. You decide how you want to be treated. You state your boundaries without fear. You pursue what you want, but never at the cost of who you are. This kind of energy makes her lean in. Because now you're not a boy chasing approval. You're a man inviting alignment. Confidence also makes you more attractive long-term. Looks may draw someone in, but it's your groundedness, your sense of purpose, your ability to remain calm under pressure that keeps them captivated. You become the calm in her storm, the pause in her chaos, the man who doesn't flinch when she tests you. And believe me, she will test you. But here's the secret. She's not testing to hurt you. She's testing to see if you're real. And when she realizes you don't crumble under pressure, when she sees that you don't lose yourself to gain her, she stops testing and starts trusting. Confidence also enhances your own happiness. When you're no longer enslaved by how others see you, you finally start to live. You pursue passions without shame. You connect without neediness. You walk away from disrespect without drama. You become free, and freedom is the most attractive quality a man can own. So here's your next challenge. For the next week, walk into every interaction with the belief that you don't need anything from anyone. Not their approval, Not their attention, not their praise, just presence, just awareness, just groundedness. And watch how the world changes around you. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. That's the essence of true confidence. It starts in your thoughts, but it's felt by everyone who meets you." Number 5, stop saying "I'm not good enough," even as a joke. Welcome to the most dangerous lie you can ever tell yourself, and it doesn't always come in loud, dramatic declarations. Sometimes it slips out as a joke. "She's way out of my league. I'm just lucky she talks to me." Or worse, "I'd never be enough for a woman like her." It sounds harmless, even humble. But every time those words leave your mouth, they plant a seed of powerlessness in your mind and in hers. You're teaching yourself that you are less, and you're telling her that she deserves more. It doesn't matter if you don't mean it. Your subconscious hears it. Her instincts register it. And slowly, without even realizing it, you begin to shrink. But here's what the Stoics knew, and what every confident man must remember. Your value is not determined by comparison. It's determined by your character, your actions, your self-respect. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And every thought that says you're not enough is a direct attack on your future. Because women don't fall in love with men who beg for validation. They fall in love with men who live with inner validation. Let's break it down. When you say, "You're too good for me," you might think you're being kind. But what she hears is, "I don't value myself." And what her instincts process is, "If he doesn't see value in himself, maybe I shouldn't either." That's not love, that's self-sabotage. In fact, relationships based on inequality, where one person idolizes and the other tolerates, always rot from the inside. Because love cannot grow where respect has died. So stop giving her a reason to see you as less. Start living as if you are exactly the kind of man she'd be lucky to have. How? By honoring your path, by speaking with conviction, by making decisions rooted in self-worth, by celebrating her strengths without diminishing your own. Don't say, "You're better than me." Say, "I admire you." Don't say, "I can't believe you chose me." Say, "I'm grateful we found each other." Don't say, "I'm not enough." Say, "I'm growing into the man I'm meant to be." And believe it, because here's what no one tells you. The most attractive man is not the richest, not the tallest, not even the smartest. It's the man who moves through the world as if he belongs, who doesn't ask for a seat at the table he brings his own. The moment you stop minimizing yourself is the moment she starts maximizing her respect for you. So here's your challenge. For the next 30 days, banish every self-deprecating joke. No more, "I'm not worthy." No more, "You could do better." And especially, no more silent beliefs that you're not enough. Every time one arises, replace it with this: "I am enough, not because I'm perfect, but because I'm present, because I'm becoming, because I refuse to betray myself for acceptance." That's not arrogance, that's self-honor, and that is the energy of a man who's no longer invisible in his own story. Number 6, true confidence makes her chase, not the other way around. You've heard it said 1,000 times, be confident. But what does that actually mean? It doesn't mean acting loud. It doesn't mean flexing your achievements. And it, sure as hell, doesn't mean pretending to be someone you're not. Confidence is quiet. It's not what you say, it's what you don't need to say. A confident man doesn't chase validation. He doesn't beg to be seen, because he knows his worth even if no one claps for him. And here's what that does to her subconscious. It creates mystery. It builds tension. It forces her to wonder, why is he so calm? Why isn't he trying to impress me? Why do I feel the need to be around him even when he's not doing anything? That's what confidence does. It flips the dynamic. Instead of you chasing her approval, she finds herself chasing your presence. Now, this isn't about playing games. It's about alignment. When you stop bending to earn love, you naturally attract the kind of love that aligns with your truth. Seneca once wrote, "A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." When you anticipate rejection, when you assume you're not enough, when you cling to someone just to not be alone, you suffer twice. But when you walk with a calm certainty, you release the need to control outcomes. And ironically, that's when outcomes shift in your favor. Let me give you something real. Picture two men walking into a room. One immediately looks around for validation. He adjusts his posture when a beautiful woman enters, talks a little louder, over-explains what he does for a living, and nervously watches to see if she's impressed. The second man walks in, looks around slowly, smiles, takes his seat, and starts a calm conversation with the person next to him. No tension, no act. Guess who gets noticed? The man who's already rooted. The man who doesn't need anything from her but would welcome her energy if it aligns. That's confidence. And here's the truth. Women don't fall for nice guys or bad boys. They fall for men who are whole within themselves. Men who speak less but mean more. Men who can sit in silence and make her feel safe. Because when a woman sees that you respect yourself, she starts to respect you even more. And when she respects you, she starts to desire you. So today, I want you to do something powerful. Stop trying to win her over. Instead, ask yourself, am I proud of the way I show up? Would I choose to be around me if I were her? And if the answer isn't a confident yes, don't chase her. Level up for you, because confidence isn't just what attracts her. It's what keeps you from losing yourself in the process. And that, my friend, is the kind of man no woman forgets. Number 7, turn the tables from proving your worth to letting her earn your energy. Let's flip the script. Most men spend their lives trying to prove themselves to women, proving they're worthy, proving they're loyal, proving they're not like the others. But here's the uncomfortable truth. When you constantly feel the need to prove something, you've already lost the frame. Because underneath all that proving is a hidden belief. I am not enough as I am, and she feels that. She may not say it out loud, but deep down she senses the anxiety behind your compliments, the desperation beneath your gestures, and the fear behind your silence. That's not attraction. That's pressure. You see, the most magnetic men don't convince. They invite. They're not performing for her approval. They're observing her alignment. They're not asking, does she like me? They're asking, do her actions reflect the type of woman I want to invest in? That changes everything. It tells her, you are not chasing her validation. You are evaluating her presence. And that flips a switch in her brain. Instead of being the prize you're chasing, she begins to question, am I showing up in a way that keeps his attention? That's when the game ends, and connection begins. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you take your power back by no longer seeking to please you, become deeply attractive. You send the message, I don't need you to see my worth. I already know it. I'm not here to beg for love. I am love. I will open myself to you, but only if you meet me there. And ironically, that makes her want to meet you there. Let me be clear, this doesn't mean playing cold. It means showing warmth from a place of fullness, not from lack. It means you don't give your time because you're scared to lose her. You give your time because she's earned your presence. It means your energy is a gift, not a tool of persuasion. So next time you find yourself trying to explain your worth, stop. Let your silence speak louder than your justification, because the most unforgettable men are not the ones who prove everything. They're the ones who make you feel everything by simply being grounded in who they are. Let her earn your energy, not because you're better, but because you finally understand your value. And from that place, you'll stop chasing and start choosing. If you have noticed any of these signs in her eyes, her smile, or her gestures, then you are probably influencing her more than you think. Remember, women may say things that are contrary to their true feelings, but their bodies, their eyes, their presence, and frequency around you, they do not lie. The important thing is not how you react to those signals. It is that you can observe them in silence, understand them in calmness, and still maintain your position. That is the spirit of a man who pursues self-control, not control. A man who does not need to make her pursue, because his calmness is enough to make her not want to leave. If you feel the power of silence and understand your value, leave a comment Stoic presence below. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any videos that will help you elevate your thinking and become the man women will never forget. We'll meet again.